and I just didn't have the brain cells or the patience for it. What up, my channel? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be giving book recommendations for Team Oshun for Blackathon. Out of all of the Blackathon rec videos that I've put out 2 for the other 2 teams, and out of all of them, this is the one that I've been the most excited to film, which is wild because the team that I'm officially on is Team Granny Nanny. And I just think that the prompts for Team Oshun are so good. I was really proud of the prompts that I came up with, and I have a great stack of books here. Look at this, this stack of books. Oh, that was so heavy. And I have a great stack of books here to recommend for those of you who want to join Team Oshun. So the very first prompt says to read a hate to love romance, for which I'm giving you 3 suggestions. The first suggestion is the group book for this team, which is Fake It Till You Bake It by Jamie Wesley. I am so excited about this book, not only because the cover is absolutely phenomenal, but because it is a foodie romance. This is a suggestion more than a recommendation because I have not read it yet. This is the only group book that I haven't actually already read, and I'm really excited to be reading it with y'all in February. So this is a hate to love romance between a chef and a baker, I believe. She finds herself working at San Diego's newest cupcake bakery, and cupcakes are my favorite bakery treat next to lemon bars. If I'm ever mad at you, like, you know what to do. And a reporter mistakenly believes that Jada and Donovan are an item, and they realize they can use this misunderstanding to their advantage to help the struggling bakery, and I don't know why I said bakery like that, and to rehabilitate Jada's image. And I'm really excited about this. Hate to love is not a trope that I enjoy for so many reasons, but I am trying to fall in love with this trope, so maybe my hate for the trope can become hate to love. Wow, mind blown. The next recommendation that I have is one of my favorite books from 2022, and that is The Undead Truth of Us by Brittany S. Lewis. Not only is this an absolutely stunning cover, but it is one of the most genre defiant and genre creative books that I have ever read in my life. We are following this very headstrong, unlikable protagonist who is grieving the loss of her mother, and she is convinced that as her mom was dying, oh my god, shut up. And she's convinced that as her mom was dying, she saw her turn into a zombie, and she starts to see zombies everywhere. And she ends up moving in with an estranged family member when living next door is this super cute boy, and he's like absolutely trying to befriend her, and she's not having it. And so she hates him, and they come to have a good romance between the 2 of them. So this is one of those relationships where it's hate to love on one side, basically. But what makes this book so incredible is the phenomenal writing. For people who are art nerds, Vincent van Gogh is a big part of the book in terms of themes. Like, even the cover is very Van Gogh-esque, and there's really fantastic representation for synesthesia, probably the best representation for synesthesia that I have read. The bits about grief and recovery are so amazing, and this is one of my favorite romances. You guys know I'm not a big romance head, but it is so phenomenal. It is such a well-balanced book, and I truly think everybody should read it. And the last recommendation that I have for this prompt is going to be One True Loves, another one of my favorite books, also by one of my favorite authors. I loved this book. I was worried that her follow-up would not live up to Happily Ever Afters, because that book was such a masterpiece, and I was like, there's no way that one can write a follow-up to that. And she did that. Reggie and Delilah's Year of Falling, which is her 3rd book, is out now, and I'm going to be picking that up and reading it this month, which I'm so excited. But this one is another one of my favorite tropes, and it features a girl going on vacation. I love Black travel as a trope. I love Black mobility. Oh no, are you okay? I love Black travel as a trope. I love Black mobility, and it just checks so many boxes. Self-discovery, Black love, and a dreamy European cruise. We have a mixed race love interest in here. It talks about mental health and the mental health representation. The Black boy struggling with mental health representation just gave me absolute chills. It is set in the same universe as Happily Ever Afters, but it can be read as a standalone, and I loved the conversations in here. I loved the romance. I loved the protagonist. Definitely have to read it. The next prompt says to read a book with strong aquatic themes or water magic. And I'm trying very hard to not recommend books that I've already recommended in the previous 2 Blackathon Rex videos, but I couldn't resist from recommending Skin of the Sea and Soul of the Deep. Now these are going to be suggestions because I haven't read them, so technically I can't recommend them. But what a better way to satisfy this prompt than with 2 Black Mermaid books. So these are companion books, and they are following this girl who becomes Mami Wata, and she's basically tasked with transferring souls to the other side. And then when a human boy falls into the ocean and she saves him, she falls out of favor with the gods. And I haven't read these books, like I said, but I really want to. And then another book that is on my Blackathon TBR is Flowers for the Sea. I got this recently. It was sent to me. I was so wildly excited for it. This is sea horror, and I love aquatic horror. This follows survivors from a flooded kingdom as they struggle alone on an ark. Resources are scant and ravenous sea beasts circle. Their fangs are sharp. Among the refugees is Araxi, ostracized, despised, and a commoner who refused a prince. She's pregnant with a child who might be more than human, and her fate may be darker and more powerful than she can imagine. What an amazing synopsis. Like, now for the third prompt, which is to read a book where the author's name begins with Y, or read a book with a yellow cover. I have 5 books here that I'm going to be recommending / suggesting, and I'm so excited for it. The first book is criminally underrated. It is on my Blackathon TBR, and it is called Where the Rain Cannot Reach by Adesina Brown, who is a Black and non-binary author, and I am so excited. They sent me this maybe a year to a year and a half ago, and I hadn't gotten to it. But now is the time. You have to hear the synopsis, y'all. Like, it's amazing. Tare has never known what it means to belong. Abandoned at a young age and raised in the all-elven valley of Myrt, the young human defies herself by isolation, confined to her small, seemingly trustworthy family. Apparently, that family uproots her from Myrt and leads her on an inevitable but treacherous journey to Domen, the previous site of unspeakable human atrocities and the current home of dwarven kind. Like black dwarfs, say less. Though Domen offers Tare new definitions of family and love, it also reveals to her that her very existence is founded in lies. She must decide where her loyalties lie, and in the process discover who she wants to be and who she has always been. I am so excited. This is their debut fantasy novel where they construct a world rich with new languages and nuanced considerations of gender and race, and ultimately contemplate how in freeing ourselves from power we may find true belonging. Oh, I think that sounds absolutely amazing, and it satisfies the prompt of the yellow cover. And then we have another book that's on my TBR, one of my most anticipated releases, which is Friday, I'm in Love. And now that I'm thinking about it, is this out? Wait a second, is this out? Oh good, it's out. Okay, I was so worried. I was like, no.
Not me being that person.
And this book has a gorgeous yellow cover. I love this dress, and it's about a Black queer teenager who decides to have a coming out party for her 16th birthday. And she's in love with this girl, and she's trying to woo the girl. And I'm really excited. It's supposed to be a very good, goofy rom-com, very sweet sapphic relationship. Can't wait to get to it. I am going to be recommending Master of Poisons because this cover is literally all yellow. I have started this book. I started it last year for Blackathon, but it was very confusing. This is a very dense fantasy. It is one where you are supposed to be confused, and I just didn't have the brain cells or the patience for it. I do not think I'm gonna get to this for this year's Blackathon, but I am hoping to get to it this year. You also can read this for the trope of strong aquatic themes because it takes place in a desert where water is scarce. So the story, even though there isn't water in it, revolves around water. And it is set in the poison desert which eats good farmland. Once sweet water turns foul, the wind blows sand and sadness across the empire. That is so dramatic. To get caught in a storm is death. Jola, right-hand man and spy master of the Lord of the Archesian Empire, is desperately trying to save his adopted homeland, even in exile. Awa, a young woman training to be a powerful griot, tests the limits of her knowledge and comes into her own in a world full of sorcery, floating cities, kindly beasts, and uncertain men. I am so excited about this book, like getting to it one day. My TBR for Blackathon is bursting, so I highly doubt that I'm going to get to this. But I think if you guys want like a good fantasy challenge, that would be the perfect book, and it satisfies 2 of the prompts. One of the, like the book that I most recommend for this prompt is gonna be How to Love a Jamaican, especially because it fits the soul of who Orisha Oshun is. And this is a beautiful collection of stories where we are following Jamaican individuals who are, some of them are mythological creatures, some of them are elders, some of them are youth, and it's all about love. And it is one of the most beautiful, poignant story collections books that I've ever read. I read it when it came out, and Alexia Arthurs is truly one of the most underrated, under-celebrated authors that I've ever encountered. It's so good, so you absolutely have to read that. And then finally, I have Daughters of Oduma by Moses Ose Utomi. Now, this is also on my TBR. This is on my warrior TBR for Blackathon. But basically, we are following a 16-year-old who is considered too old to play in this female competitive sport called bowing. When their city is attacked and their star player is injured, she has to step up and go back into the competition. And I don't know if there's any fantasy in this book. Oh wait, oh yeah, it is fantasy, because she'll have to leave her sisters to fulfill whatever destiny the gods choose for her. So it is a fantasy, and I'm very, very excited about it. The font is smaller than my self-esteem, like what is happening here? But I'm super, super geeked about this, and it is released on the 7th of February. Those are going to be my recommendations for Team Oshun. Let me know down below what your TBRs for Team Oshun are. What? If you want to show me that you made it this far in the video, please comment down below with a sun or a yellow heart, because that is the color that is most closely associated with Oshun. I want to let y'all know that Blackathon merch is still available. So for those of you who want merch, now is the time to get it. I thought that the bonfire campaign ended, but apparently I was confused because someone just ordered merch successfully. So I was like, oh my God, I have to tell y'all. So that link is down below. I also am going to be putting up Blackathon mugs. I am very, very excited about that. So hopefully the mugs will be up by the time this video comes up. We will see. I'm trying to get it up as soon as possible since we are already 3 days into Blackathon. So I'm sorry that the Rex for this video is a little bit late. But I hope you guys have an amazing day or evening, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.